I've always believed that the moment you decide to be exceptional is the moment your life starts to shift. Today, I want to talk about an idea that could change your life, your career, your relationships, everything. It's a simple concept, but don't let that fool you. It's powerful enough to transform your entire world. Here it is. Act as if you're the best. No one is above you. Now, I can already imagine some of you thinking, that sounds cocky, or isn't that just pretending? But let me clear that up. This isn't about arrogance. It's not about putting others down. It's about raising yourself up to your full potential. When I say act as if you're the best, I'm talking about thinking, behaving, and showing up like someone who's at the top of their game. It's about setting your personal standards so high that you naturally rise to meet them. Let me ask you something. Have you ever watched a top athlete in action or seen a true master at their craft? There's a confidence and calmness about them. That's not arrogance, it's certainty. It's knowing they've done the work, built their skill, and they're ready to deliver. That's exactly what I mean when I say act as if you're the best. Carry yourself with that same level of belief and presence in everything you do. Now, maybe you're thinking, oh, but I'm not the best. I'm nowhere near it. To that, I say, so what? That's the beauty of this idea. It still works, even if you're not there yet. Because when you act like the best, something incredible happens. You start believing it. And once you believe it, you start becoming it. It's one of the most powerful self-fulfilling prophecies you can tap into. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're walking into a job interview. You're nervous, second-guessing yourself, wondering if you're good enough. How do you think that interview is going to go? But now imagine walking in as if you're the perfect candidate. You stand tall. You speak clearly about your skills and what you bring to the table. You believe you're the answer to their problem. Think that might change the outcome? Absolutely. And even if you don't land that specific job, the confidence you brought into the room has already changed you. You've practiced how to present yourself. You've spoken with strength and belief. You've raised your bar, and that'll serve you in the next opportunity. But let's be real. Acting like the best doesn't mean you stop learning or growing. It's actually the opposite. The top performers in any field are always learning, always improving. They stay hungry for knowledge and open to challenge. So when you act as if you're the best, you're also promising yourself, I'm going to show up like the best and put in the work to become the best. And this idea applies everywhere. In your relationships, act like the best partner, best friend, best parent. What would that look like? How would you treat people? How would you communicate? How would you show up every day in your health? Act like you're in the best shape of your life. How would you eat? Move? What daily habits would you build? With your money, act like you're amazing at managing your finances. How would you make decisions? Plan your budget. Invest in your future. Now, I know some of you are still wondering, isn't this just pretending? And maybe at first it is. But here's the thing. Humans are incredibly adaptable. We become what we repeat. If you keep acting confident, you become confident. If you keep making healthy choices, you become healthy. If you keep managing money wisely, you build wealth. It's not pretending. It's practicing. You're rehearsing for the role you want to play in your life. And here's something else. People notice how you carry yourself. When you move like the best, people respond differently. Suddenly doors crack open. Opportunities appear. But remember, this isn't about fooling others. It's about shifting your own mind. It's about changing how you see yourself, your worth, your potential, your power to do big things. Because here's the truth. Most of us have a voice in our head saying, oh, you're not good enough. You can't do that. Who do you think you are? That voice is a liar. It's built from years of self-doubt, bad advice, and moments of failure we misunderstood. But when you act like you're the best, you start rewriting that voice. You tell it, actually, I'm good enough. I can do this. I am someone who achieves big things. And here's the magic. As you keep showing up this way, it becomes more natural. What started as an act becomes real. Now, don't get me wrong. Acting like the best doesn't mean ignoring your flaws. In fact, the best people know their weaknesses really well. Here's the difference. They don't let those weaknesses define them. They treat them as growth points, as areas to work on. So when you act as if you're the best, you're also promising to stay honest with yourself. You're saying, I'll hold myself to the highest standard. And that means I'll be real about where I need to grow. And that's where true transformation happens. Because when you pair unshakable confidence with genuine humility, you unlock your full potential. Unstoppable. Let me let you in on a little secret. Every truly successful person I've met, no matter the industry, has one thing in common. They act like they're the best, even when they aren't yet. They walk into rooms with quiet confidence, not arrogance that simply says, I belong here, I have value to offer. And you know what? That kind of confidence is magnetic. It spreads, it impacts everyone around them. Now imagine, seriously, take a second, imagine what your life could look like if you truly believed, deep down, that you were the best at what you do. How would you carry yourself? How would you face challenges? How would you treat yourself and the people around you? That's the power of this principle. It's not just about outer success, though, that often follows. It's about reshaping your inner world. It's about becoming the kind of person who attracts opportunity naturally, who moves through life with clarity and purpose. So here's my challenge to you, starting today. Act as if you're the best, not from a place of ego, but from a place of belief. Belief in your worth, belief in your potential. When you're hit with a challenge, ask yourself, how would the best version of me handle this? Before a presentation, say, well, I'm the best person to deliver this message. Working on a project, approach it like, I'm going to do this better than it's ever been done. And here's the key part. Don't wait to feel ready. Don't wait for fear to go away or for every piece to fall into place. Because the truth, the people who've made the biggest impact in history didn't feel ready either. They acted like they were ready as and became ready along the way. So act, move, begin right here, right now with what you have. And let me tell you something that might surprise you. This principle of acting like the best, it's not just about you. It lifts everyone around you. When you hold yourself to a higher standard, when you commit to excellence, it forces others to rise with you. Think back. Have you ever been around someone who radiated calm, confidence, and control? Someone who seemed like they just had it together? It inspires you, doesn't it? It makes you want to do better. Be better. That's the power you hold. You become a signal for excellence. No, you become proof that it's possible. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When you act as if you're the best, you start seeing the best in others too. You start noticing skill, strength, and potential wherever you go. You start building a team of high performers, whether at work, in your community, or right at home. Now, some of you might still be thinking, but what if I fail? What if I act like I'm the best and fall flat? Let me tell you something. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. It's the tuition you pay for greatness. When you act like you're the best, you're not saying, I'll never fail. You're saying, when I fail, I'll face it like a champion. You'll take the hit. You'll learn from it. You'll get better. The best aren't afraid of failure. They're afraid of holding back, of not trying, of looking back with regret. So when you act like you're the best, you're giving yourself permission to take bold action, to stretch, to reach beyond the safe zone, and that is how you grow. Let's talk about something else that can trip people up: comparison. These days, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your life against what you see online. Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. It's a highlight reel. But when you act like you're the best, you stop playing their game. You stop measuring yourself against everyone else and start focusing on you, your growth, your progress, your journey. And here's the powerful thing. When you stop comparing and start competing with your potential, that's when real progress happens. That's when you unlock things others thought were out of reach. But let me be clear. Acting like you're the best isn't about getting comfortable. It's not about coasting. If anything, it's the opposite. The truly great ones, they're never satisfied. They're always looking for the next edge, always learning, always pushing. So when you adopt this mindset, you're not just saying, I'm the best. You're saying, I'm the best and I'm going to keep leveling up. That's the difference between someone who peaks and someone who becomes a legend. Let's zoom in for a second on mindset. Your mindset is the operating system of your life. It controls how you see the world, how you respond to pressure, how you seize opportunities. When you act like the best, you're upgrading that operating system. You stop seeing limits. You start spotting openings. You start saying things like, there's a way forward. I just have to find it. And mindsets like that, they're contagious. When you carry belief, others catch it. When you walk with purpose, others follow. And that's how movements start. When you choose to operate from a mindset of excellence, it touches every part of your life. Your relationships start to improve. Your health gets better. Your finances become stronger. Why? Because you're no longer doing things halfway. You're showing up with the question, how can I do this at my highest level? Now, here's something you might not expect. The most successful people I know, people who are crushing it in business, health, relationships, they all have a quiet, simple practice they do every morning. Before the day kicks off, they take a few minutes to picture themselves at their best. They visualize themselves succeeding, solving problems, making an impact. This isn't just daydreaming. This is mental rehearsal. It's training your brain to expect success. So you act like it's normal. And the more you picture yourself doing great things, the more natural it becomes to actually do them. So try this. Every morning, take a couple of minutes, close your eyes, picture yourself walking with confidence, speaking clearly, handling challenges with ease. See yourself winning before the day even begins. Now let's talk about something simple but powerful, language. The words you use, both in your head and out loud, shape your world. If you're acting like the best, your words need to match. Instead of saying, I'll try, say, I will. Instead of I hope, say, I know. Instead of I can't, ask, how can I? These may seem like small changes, but they reflect a major shift in mindset. And it's not just for you. When you speak like someone who believes in themselves, you lift others up too. Your words can encourage, motivate, and inspire, so use them wisely and generously. Now let's clear up a common myth. Acting like you're the best doesn't mean you have to be perfect. In fact, chasing perfection is one of the fastest ways to burn out. You're not aiming for flawless. You're aiming for excellence, doing the best you can with what you have right now. That means making mistakes is okay. The best in the world, they mess up. The difference is they learn from it. They treat mistakes as feedback, not failure. So when you act as if you're the best, you're giving yourself permission to fall and fall forward. Let's talk habits. Your life is shaped by what you do every day. The little routines, the tiny choices, the consistent actions, those become who you are. When you act like the best, you start building the habits of excellence. You become more focused, more intentional, more selective with your time and energy. You start cutting out distractions and doubling down on what truly matters. And here's the beautiful thing. Once those habits stick, they become automatic. That's how acting like the best becomes being your best. Now, I know some of you are thinking, what about humility? Isn't acting like I'm the best the opposite of being humble? Actually, no. True humility isn't about putting yourself down. It's about not needing to put yourself above anyone. When you act as if you're the best, you're not boosting your ego. You're stepping into your purpose. You're saying, I have gifts, I have value, and I'm here to use them fully. The most humble people I've met, they're also the most excellent. They don't brag because they don't need to. Their actions speak louder than any words. They celebrate others because they're confident in who they are. So when you act like the best, you're actually practicing a deeper kind of humility, one rooted in service, not status. Let's talk leadership. You don't need a title to lead. You lead every day through your actions, your words, your example. When you act like the best, you naturally draw people in. People want to follow someone who believes in what they're doing, someone with vision, someone who gets things done. That's what leadership is, being someone others can count on. And remember, leaders don't have all the answers. The best ones ask better questions. They listen. They collaborate. When you act like the best, you're open to others' input because you're confident in yourself. Now let's address the big one, fear. Fear holds more people back than failure ever could. Fear of messing up, fear of being judged, fear of trying and not succeeding. But here's the truth. Fear is just a signal. It's your brain's way of saying you're stepping into something new. And that's exactly where growth lives. Acting like the best doesn't mean you stop feeling fear. It means you feel it and move forward anyway. That's courage. And courage is what unlocks everything. Now take a step back and look at the big picture. When you show up at your highest level consistently, you don't just change your life. You create a ripple effect. Your energy lifts others. Your actions inspire people to aim higher. Your belief in yourself gives others permission to believe in themselves too. Your excellence doesn't just lift you. It inspires others. It challenges the status quo. It quietly raises the bar for everyone around you. Now think about your relationships. When you act as if you're the best partner, friend, or family member, you naturally bring more care, more patience, and more presence. You listen better. You speak more clearly. You show up more fully. It doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're trying with intention to give your best in every connection. Now let's talk about resilience. Life will throw you off track. That's a guarantee. But when you act as if you're the best, you build a strong inner core. You don't see problems as permanent or personal. You see them as tests, chances to prove your strength and grow stronger. You bounce back faster because you know setbacks don't define you. They just redirect you. And that mindset also changes how you make decisions. You're no longer acting out of fear, doubt, or pressure. You're thinking clearly. You're confident. You take the long view. Instead of chasing short-term wins, you start choosing what aligns with your highest values and long-term goals. Now think about your personal standards. When you act like the best, you raise the bar naturally. You stop settling for just okay. You start doing things with purpose and pride. Whether it's your work, your home, or your relationships, you hold yourself to a higher standard. That includes your health and well-being too. You treat your body like it matters, because it does. You eat foods that fuel you. You move your body regularly. You rest, recharge, and respect your energy, because you understand when your body is at its best, everything else in life improves too. Now let's look at your creativity. When you act like the best, you give yourself the freedom to think big. You stop holding back. You're not afraid to pitch a bold idea, test a new approach, or break out of the mold. This mindset unlocks the creative part of you that's been waiting to be unleashed. And with that creative energy comes the power of focus. You become razor sharp about what matters. You're not pulled into distractions, drama, or meaningless noise. You stay locked in on your goals, using your time and energy where they count the most. That brings us to time management. When you act like the best, you stop treating time like it's unlimited. You start protecting your schedule. You cut out time wasters. You make room for growth, rest, and the things that move your life forward. And here's something that often gets overlooked: emotional intelligence. Acting as if you're the best means learning how to manage your emotions and understand the emotions of others. You become more patient, more empathetic, more effective in conversations and conflict. This kind of emotional strength helps you thrive in both personal and professional relationships. And when it comes to learning, this mindset changes everything. You stop waiting to be taught. You become curious, hungry. You read. You ask questions. You learn from failure and from others. You know that the ability to grow, adapt, and evolve is your biggest competitive advantage in a changing world. Let's talk about your financial life. When you act as if you're the best, you approach money with intention and clarity. You don't operate from fear or scarcity. You make smart choices about how you earn, spend, save, and invest. You see money not just as security, but as a tool to create freedom and impact. Now here's one of the most important pieces: consistency. Acting like the best isn't about a big one-time effort. It's about what you do every day, even on the hard days, especially on the hard days. It's showing up, doing your best, and letting that consistency compound over time. That's how excellence turns into results. And finally, let's talk about criticism. When you act like the best, you don't fall apart when someone gives you feedback. You don't let negative comments destroy your confidence. Instead, you listen, you filter, you learn, you take what helps you improve and leave the rest. You see every critique as a chance to sharpen your edge, not a reason to shrink. Let's take a closer look at how this mindset affects your ability to collaborate. When you act as if you're the best, you elevate everyone around you. You're not threatened by someone else's success. You celebrate it. You recognize that true greatness often comes from teamwork, from combining different talents, skills, and perspectives. You're not competing, you're contributing. Now think about how this mindset influences your personal growth. When you act like the best, you don't stay stuck in what's comfortable. You push yourself. You take on challenges that stretch you. You seek experiences that help you grow because you understand comfort is the enemy of progress. Let's talk about stress. Everyone experiences it, but how you respond makes the difference. When you act as if you're the best, you learn to handle stress with strength. You don't panic under pressure, you perform. You see stress as a sign that you're growing, not a signal to back down. Now back to something we touched on earlier, visualization. Acting like the best means seeing success before it happens. You visualize your goals clearly. You imagine the steps, the feelings, the outcome, and that mental clarity guides your real-world actions. It keeps you motivated, even when the path gets hard. And this mindset, it makes you inspiring. When people see your energy, your drive, and your commitment to excellence, they take notice. Without even realizing it, you become a role model. You spark belief in others just by living with purpose. Let's talk about problem solving. When you act like the best, you don't get stuck complaining. You don't look for excuses. You look for solutions. You become known as someone who figures things out, who gets things done no matter the obstacle. This directly impacts your personal brand. People associate you with excellence, reliability, and integrity. That kind of reputation opens doors. It creates opportunities. It leads to connections and collaborations that wouldn't happen otherwise. Now think about your ability to set and achieve goals. When you act as if you're the best, you don't just wish for success, you set big goals that stretch you, and you follow through with discipline, focus, and action because you understand goals aren't just ideas, they're commitments to yourself. Let's talk about authenticity. Acting like the best isn't about pretending or faking anything. It's about being the best version of yourself. It means being aligned with your values, true to your voice, and bold with your strengths. Now let's look at networking and relationships. When you act like the best, you connect with others from a place of confidence and genuine interest. You're not just asking, like, what can I get? You're also asking, wait, what can I give? This creates real relationships built on trust and value. Now here's a big one, your ability to handle success. Success can be just as tricky as failure, but when you act like the best, you're ready for it. You don't let it go to your head. You stay grounded, focused, and hungry for what's next. You use each win as a launch pad, not a finish line. And what about your legacy? This mindset doesn't just affect the present. It shapes how you live and how you'll be remembered. When you act as if you're the best, you start thinking beyond the short term. You think about impact. You think about how your actions today can echo long into the future. Now let's talk about something deeply personal, forgiveness. When you act like the best, you learn to forgive not just others, but yourself. You stop wasting energy on grudges or regrets. You move forward carrying the lesson, not the weight. This frees you up to focus on now and what's next. Let's take a moment for gratitude. When you act like the best, you recognize how lucky you are. You feel grateful for your life, your opportunities, and the people who support you. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It fuels your motivation. It reminds you why all of this matters. Now consider how this mindset helps you adapt to change. The world is constantly shifting, but when you act as if you're the best, you stay flexible. You're not afraid of change. You use it. You grow with it. You evolve. And that adaptability, it becomes one of your greatest strengths. Finally, let's talk about purpose. When you act like the best, you connect more deeply with your why. You start seeing how your talents, your passion, and your values fit into something bigger. You don't just want to live. You want to contribute. You want to matter. And when you live with purpose, everything changes. You strive for balance between work, health, relationships, and personal growth. You show up fully in every area of life. Not perfect, but present. And as you grow, something beautiful happens. You become a mentor to others, not because you say you're the best, but because you live like it. You share your lessons, you lift others up, and in doing so, you grow even more.